Of all the truly frightening stories about life in American prisons, Tucker's phone is by far the scariest. For the inmates of Tucker State Prison in Arkansas in the early 1960s, there was nothing more frightening than Tucker's phone call. The Tucker call was a method of sadistic punishment, often used against inmates at the state prison, which is now the Tucker unit of the Arkansas Department of Corrections. The torture device was designed by the prison doctor, Dr. A.E. Rollins, and prison superintendent Jim Bruton. Connected to a massive power source, the Tucker phone served as an electric shock device that was applied to victims' private parts. The prisoners sent to the hospital room were tied to a table with 2 wires attached to their skin. A ground wire was wrapped around the big toe, and a hot electrically conductive wire was attached to the prisoners' genitals. When doctors turned on Tucker's phone, their victims were brutally tortured by electric shocks. Sometimes these torture sessions lasted long periods of time, referred to as long distance. The sheer barbarity of this method of punishment was described in Tom Merton's shocking 1970 book, Partners in Crime. Sometimes the telephone operator's skills were so lacking that the sustained current not only rendered the prisoner unconscious, but also caused irreversible damage to his testicles. Unfortunately, many prisoners suffered not only permanent organ damage as a result of the torture, but also mental illness. But Tucker's call wasn't an isolated incident. A 1967 Newsweek report revealed that prisoners were regularly beaten with wooden paddles, had needles stuck under their fingernails, tortured with tweezers, and punished with the electric chair. Prison brutality became so notorious that Tucker's phone was eventually featured in the 1980 film Brubaker. Unfortunately, in the 1980s, even after they stopped using torture devices on prisoners, the Chicago Violent Crimes Unit, under the command of Lieutenant John Burge, again used the Tucker phone to torture suspects. American interrogators abroad also reportedly used this device to torture prisoners. The Tucker prison farm also beat inmates by beating them with 5-foot paddles, sticking needles under their fingernails, and executing them with the old Sparky, an electric chair that was used 104 times. So be careful next time you answer the phone. So why not get comfortable, pour yourself a drink, and choose one of our stories to listen to? Thanks for dropping by. I'll see you in the next chapter.